Good morning, Mr. Valle.
Mhm.
I'm going to remind you again, you've got to keep your voice up. You are soft-spoken. We are competing with the fans, but everybody's got to hear you, okay?
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday when we were here and we left off, I believe you had taken us to the front lawn of 43 Laurel Glen Drive. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And you were describing for us the scene there on that front lawn as you and Mr. De Silva walked up to a group of individuals that had come out of the house. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe that you had told us just shortly before we dispersed for the day that you thought there were about 10 people facing you and about 10 people facing Mr. De Silva. Do you recall that?
Yes, but I'd say it was around 50 kids altogether.
50 kids all together?
Yes.
Were you counting them? How can you be sure that there were 50 kids?
I wasn't able to see behind them because there were so many people.
It felt to you like there were 50 kids?
Yes.
But you weren't counting 50 kids?
No.
Do you recall how many kids, do you recall yesterday you had described for us that there were essentially two groups that started to form, one that was dealing more with Mr. De Silva and one that was dealing more with you?
Yes.
And how far away were you from Mr. De Silva at that point?
Once the two groups started forming, it was hard to say how far Tyler was from me. I want to say 5-6 feet.
Okay. And you had described that he was trying to have some sort of a conversation with somebody that he was dealing with. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Were you trying to have a conversation with anybody? What were you doing at that point?
Yes. I was trying to have a conversation with Ryan Hines.
Ryan Hines was one of the people that was facing you?
Yes.
How many other people do you remember that you were dealing with in the group that was facing you?
After they separated into two groups, I want to say there was around 25 to 20 people just on me.
And where were they positioned?
At first, they were just in front. And then once they made the two separate groups, they were on both sides and in front of me.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes, thank you.
And I put back up there for us State's Exhibit 52 behind you on the easel. I'm going to hand you a pointer and try to drop it. Where do you recall standing as this group starts to form around you?
I want to say around this area.
Did you see anybody around the red bush?
There was people everywhere.
Could you see anybody moving around behind the red bush?
No, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. When you described being surrounded by this group that's facing you, were there some kids that were dealing with you more directly than the larger group?
Once they separated us into two groups, everyone was saying stuff.
You've described interacting with Ryan Hines.
Yes.
Was he separate from the larger group in some way that you were dealing directly with him? Tell us how that worked.
He was just the person that I was talking to. There was people shoulder to shoulder with him, right next to him, on my sides. But he was the one that I started talking to directly.
Was he closest to you?
They were all the same distance from me.
How far away from you were they?
Not even a foot.
That close to you?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I'd ask the witness to demonstrate with me what he was experiencing at that point.
If the witness is comfortable demonstrating, that's fine. Just please keep it in the well. Thank you.
Will you come down here, Mr. Valle, please?
Please, if there's going to be any statements, just make sure that you're keeping your voice up so the microphones can catch your statements. Thank you.
If I'm you, where is Ryan Hines?
Right here.
And is Ryan Hines as the same size as you?
At the time, I was a very small kid.
Ryan Hines, what is he doing?
First, we're just talking.
At some point, does he do something else?
Yes.
What?
After he starts yelling, I stuck my hand out as I was backing up from everybody, and he smacks my hand out.
Where were the other people that you've said were around him?
To my sides, in front of me, everywhere.
What did you do when he smacked your hand down?
I started slowly backing up even before that, and I continued to try and back up.
Take a stand, please. As you began to try to back up, what happened at that point?
I got hit.
Where did you get hit?
It was the side of my head, I want to say, but I couldn't really tell where.
And when you say it was the side of your head, could you tell which side?
I only found out after.
And how were you feeling at that point?
Everything just went black.
When you say everything went black, what's the next thing that you remember?
My face was in the ground.
Could you see where Tyler De Silva was? What could you see?
Just the ground, and people were just stomping and kicking and punching everywhere.
Did you have the knife in your hand at that point?
No,
Where was the knife?
it was in my pocket.
Could you see any way to escape?
No.
Did you try to get up?
Yeah.
Could you get up?
No.
Why not?
There was just so many people hitting me and just everywhere.
What could you hear?
They were yelling and just, it was so weird. They were just yelling like, I can't even describe it.
Did you hear anyone say, "Yes, sir"?
I heard a whole bunch of things I can't. It's a good.
Could you hear anything from Mr. De Silva?
No.
Could you see the vehicle that you had arrived in, Jack Snyder's car?
No.
Could you see any way to make an escape from your position? Where were the other people that were kicking you, as you've described it?
All around me, on top of me, behind me.
Could you see who was on top of you?
No.
Could you tell what the person or persons that were on top of you were doing?
Hitting me.
Where were they hitting you?
My head, the back of my head. Kicking like the front of my face, my ribs, everywhere.
Did you get the sense that they were going to let you up and let you go?
No.
What did you do at that point?
I went to cover my head in like a fetal position.
Did that seem to have any effect? What did you hope would happen if you went into the fetal position?
That they would stop.
Did they stop?
They did not.
Put us there on that lawn with you in the fetal position. What were you feeling?
Hopeless. Scared. Terrified.
Why hopeless?
Because they just weren't stopping.
How were you feeling physically?
Hurt.
What hurt?
Everything.
Did you lose consciousness?
After the first hit, yeah.
What happened next?
As I was in the fetal position, covering the sides of my head and the top of my head with my forehead into the dirt, I was almost like hunched over, and I reached in my pocket and grabbed the knife.
What were you thinking when your hand touched that knife?
It felt like the only thing that would help me.
What were you seeing at that point around you?
My face was in the dirt. I couldn't really see. I just felt nothing changed.
Could you see Tyler Da Silva?
No.
Could you hear Tyler Da Silva?
No.
What could you hear?
Still just the same screaming. That's it.
Did the group give any indication that they were going to stop or let you up?
No.
What happened next?
After I took the knife out of my pocket, I started waving and just stabbing in every direction. Just flailing my arm around.
Could you tell if you'd hit anything? Did that seem to have any effect on the attack?
No. It made me more scared.
Why did it make you more scared?
Because it didn't change what they were doing, and it didn't stop them from doing anything.
Were they still kicking you?
Yeah.
Was someone still on top of you?
Yeah, there were so many people on top of me.
Were you able to get up at that point?
No.
What happened next?
I kept flailing my arm around, just trying to get them away from me.
Were you aiming for anyone?
No.
Were you aiming for Ryan Hines?
No.
You weren't trying to kill Ryan Hines?
No.
What about Tommy Connery? You stabbed him 4 times in the leg. What were you trying to do to Tommy Connery?
Get them away from me.
Did there come a time when it was just you and Ryan Hines fighting one-on-one?
No.
Did there come a time when Tommy Connery separated you from Ryan Hines and was just there with you one-on-one, standing up?
No.
Where were you the entire time you were flailing? How were you feeling while you were flailing around with that knife?
More scared than before. Terrified. Just, it didn't make him stop even though I was flailing around a knife.
Could you tell how many people were around you at that point?
No.
What happened next?
It's in flashes, but I just remember getting shoved into the car.
Did there come a point where you were able to stand up? How did you get shoved to the car?
I remember while I was in the fetal position and like flailing my arm around. I like rolled on the back of my heels and tried to jump backwards.